On September 11, 2001, people in New York City woke up to a normal day. It was a Tuesday and people were preparing for another day at work and school. Thousands of people headed for the World Trade Center, a complex of 7 buildings that included a pair of skyscrapers known as the Twin Towers. Each tower had 110 stories and stood about 1,360 feet high. The tallest buildings in New York City at the time. No one knew that in just a few hours both buildings would fall. September 11, 2001 was a turning point in U.S. history. Nearly 3,000 Americans were killed on that clear, sunny morning when 2 hijacked airplanes crashed into the World Trade Center towers in New York City, another plowed into the Pentagon, and a 4th was brought down in a crash in the Pennsylvania field by heroic passengers who fought back against terrorists. The shock and horror of September 11 wasn't confined to days or weeks. The attacks cast a long shadow over American life from which the nation has yet to fully recover. This event changed America forever. After the 9/11 attacks, the combination of fear and a recognition of various intelligence failures led to a range of policy changes that included restrictions on immigration, the creation of the Department of Homeland Security, and the expansion of the no-fly list from a very small number of people to thousands. American support for the war on terror became mixed as the campaign continued for years in an effort to target multiple terrorists across the world. Thousands of American troops were killed in the first 2 decades of the war on terror, and many more returned home with physical and psychological wounds. Before September 11, people didn't have to have a ticket to wander around the airport or wait at the gate. No one checked passengers' IDs before boarding the plane. The only item people had to remove when passing through security was loose change from their pockets. All of the change came with the creation of the Transportation Security Administration, TSA, an entirely new federal agency authorized by Congress in November of 2001. They also installed more advanced technologies, such as the full-body scanner, to ensure travelers weren't trying to bring anything harmful on an airplane. The hijackers used weapons they had carried on board to gain control of the aircrafts. Memorials now stand to pay tribute to those who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. The 9/11 Memorial Museum in New York City contains pools set within each area where the Twin Towers stood. The names of all the 9/11 victims from each tower are inscribed on bronze panels. The attacks on September 11 shook the world and made people realize that even a powerful country like the United States could be a victim of terrorism. 20 years after the 9/11 terror attacks, a large number of Americans have permanently changed the way they live because of those attacks. Years after, many Americans continue to express apprehension about flying, going into skyscrapers, and overseas travel. 9/11 has changed how we live forever.